Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a walkthrough of how to create the search icon. This shape is very useful because most websites have a search bar somewhere on the page. So to get started, we're going to open a CodePen. This is what it will look like when we're finished, but let's open a new CodePen. We will say create new pen, and we're not going to use JavaScript, so we'll just minimize that. Over in HTML, we're going to create a new div with the ID of magnifying glass. Magnifying glass. And we'll close that div and come over here to CSS. And we're going to get the ID magnifying glass and add our brackets. So let's start by creating a square. We're going to set the width to 0.4 em and the height to 0.4 em. Next, we're going to add a border, and this border is going to be 0.1 em with a solid red border. And if you noticed, this little tiny square popped up. We don't really want it that small. Let's see if we can get it bigger. In the example that I got this code from on csstricks.com, they use font size to control the size of the shape. So we're going to set font size to 10 em. There we go. It's a nice looking square. Okay. So next we're going to set the display property to inline block. That way both elements are on the same line. And we're going to position this. Set the position to relative. Perfect. And let's make this look a little bit more like a magnifying glass. We're going to set border radius to 0.35 em on all sides. We can just do that once. And there we go. There's our circle. So now we've got that. Let's add the handle. So again, we're going to use the ID magnifying glass. And this time we need to add the pseudo class before. And so we're going to use this pseudo class so that content can be inserted before the circle. And with the pseudo class, we need to use the property content, and we'll add quotation marks, and we don't actually need to add anything into those. It's just there to make the object in line, and it's often used with the pseudo classes before and after. So next we're going to set display to inline block. And let's add a background color so we can see what's going on. Background will be set to red. And we need a width and a height, so the width of the handle will be 0.35 em, and the height is going to be 0.08 em. Next, we'll set the border width to 0, and we need to position this at absolute so that we can tell it exactly where we need it to go. And if you notice, the handle moved from down here to up here when we did position absolute. So next we need to tell it exactly where we need it to go. So we're going to tell it to go right negative 0.25 em. And we need it to be at the bottom. And we'll set that to negative 0.1 em. Cool. Alright, so now it looks like a weird Q. Let's change that. Let's rotate the handle. So we're going to use the property transform, and we need to rotate that 45 EM, 45 degrees. Oh, not EM, degrees. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're not quite finished. We've got it looking great, but we need to make sure that this will be supported in all browsers. So let's just gonna remove this real quick, and we're gonna add each of these different browsers that it can be supported in. And that looks like that's all we need to do for this. So there you have it. There's a nice looking search icon for you.